So good morning my dear students. So in this video you are going to study the second unit, that is Maxwell's equation and electromagnetic wave propagation. Now in order before we start this second unit, so one should know three important points. So in order to understand this topic, so the first point is flux of electric field or electric flux. How we can define electric flux in electrodynamics. The second important point is Gauss law. What is Gauss law and how mathematically we can give Gauss law. And the third important point is relation between electric flux density and electric field E. So after these 3 points, so we will start the first content in this unit, that is equation of continuity or else law of conservation of charge. Now we will see one by one. The first topic is flux of electric field or electric flux. Now to explain this, so I am going to consider, for explaining this I am going to consider a region of space. I am going to consider a region of space or a closed surface of area S in electric field E. Okay, I am going to consider a region of space or closed surface of area S in the electric field E. Now, so two important points which we have considered. One is the surface which I have considered is closed surface, and this surface is in electric field E. Okay, so this region is in electric field E. Now we are assuming this particular surface is divided into a number of infinitesimally small surfaces. This particular surface is divided into a number of infinitesimally small surfaces, each of area ds. Okay, each of area ds. Each of area ds. You can consider this surface area as ds1, this as ds2, ds3, like that. Now how to calculate the electric flux through the entire area S? Okay, so what is electric flux? Number of field line passing through the perpendicular area. Okay, passing through the area. Now how we can calculate the total number of electric field line which is passing through the surface area S? For that, first we need to calculate the flux through ds1, first surface, then ds2, flux through ds2, flux through ds3, like that. So n surfaces, all the surfaces, flux through all surfaces we have to calculate, then add that value. Okay, we are going to get total flux through the area S. Total flux through the area S. Or else using surface integration also we can easily calculate what is the total flux through the entire surface of area ds. Okay, so total flux through the entire surface of area ds. For that, what we need to do? First we need to consider reference surface. One reference surface, here we have considered reference surface of area ds. In previous case, so area is ds1, ds2, ds3, like that, right? In previous case, in each surfaces we have to consider what is flux, we have to calculate flux, then add that value, you are going to get total flux through the entire area S. Or else in second method what we can do, we can consider one reference surface of area ds, one reference surface of area ds, and now calculate what is electric flux through this reference area. Okay, what is electric flux through this reference area? So that is given by, we know that it is electric field E dot ds. So which is the electric flux through the reference area ds. So which we can write it as d psi. Psi is the electric flux through the entire area S. Now we are considering a small surface ds, the small surface of area ds. So flux through this surface is d psi. Flux through this surface is d psi, which is given by E dot ds. So dot product of two vectors, product of magnitude of two vectors multiplied by cosine of angle between them. So this angle is, if the surface is closed, we know that the direction of the unit vector is in outward direction, right? So if the surface is closed, then the direction of the unit vector is outward direction. Then the theta is angle between electric field and unit vector. Okay, the theta is angle between electric field and unit vector. Now when this particular value, we have calculated electric flux through the area ds. Now we are interested to calculate what is electric flux through the area S. For that, what we can do, so we can integrate this value, over entire surface of area S. That gives you the total electric flux through the surface of area S. Okay, so integrate it. So integration, it's a closed surface integral. So d psi surface integral, which is equal to closed surface integral E dot ds. E dot ds, integration of psi, we can write it as d psi, which is equal to psi closed surface integral S E dot ds. So this is total electric flux. Here what you need to remember, one is the electric flux is closed surface integral E dot ds. So one point. The second point is, if the surface is closed, then the direction of the field line is in outward direction. That you need to remember. Now we will see what is Gauss law. Here Gauss law. So you can imagine football. Okay, you can imagine football. And area of the football is, surface area is, it's a closed surface, and area is S. And inside the football you have certain volume, right? So that you can take it as V, capital letter V. Now assume that you have placed a certain amount of positive charge which is inside the football. Okay, so you can imagine a football and you have placed a certain amount of positive charge. So within that football, or else you can modify the statement, this surface area, so surface, closed surface which encloses certain amount of positive charge. Okay, so surface encloses certain amount of positive charge, that is certain amount of positive charge. Now Gauss law states that the statement is the total electric flux through electric flux of the electric field E, or total flux of the electric field E over any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by the surface. That means so we have considered a closed surface, that is football, and which has a surface area S and volume V. We have assumed that we have placed a certain amount of positive charge within that volume. If we have a positive charge, then field line emerges, right? So field line emerges from the point of consideration. Now what about the direction of the field line? So its surface is closed, so the direction of the field line is outward direction, right? So these field lines passing through the surface. So then you can easily calculate what is electric flux through the surface area S, right? The direction of the field line is outward direction, so you can easily calculate what is electric flux through this particular area, capital letter S. and this flux, total flux is equal to, this total flux is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times total charge or net charge enclosed within this particular volume, or net charge enclosed by the surface of area S. Okay, so the total charge, so we will take it Q, total charge we will take it as Q, and Q by epsilon naught is equal to the total flux. Okay, what is the total flux? Total flux is psi is equal to closed surface integral S E dot ds. So psi is equal to closed surface integral E dot ds. So this represents total electric flux through the closed surface of area S, okay, which is equal to Q by epsilon naught. This is Gauss law. And third important point, so one should know, that is relation between electric flux density and electric field E. So that is D, electric flux density, which is equal to epsilon naught times E, electric field. So if you know these 3 points, the first point is electric flux, how to define electric flux, that is I is equal to a closed surface integral E dot ds, the Gauss law. Second one, so closed surface integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught, and the relation between electric flux density and electric field, D is equal to epsilon naught E. Then we can start the first topic, that is equation of continuity, or the continuity equation. It's also called law of conservation. Okay, so now we will start equation of continuity or law of conservation of charge. So we have already seen, so 3 important points: electric flux, then Gauss law statement as well as mathematical expression, and then third point, the relation between electric flux density and the electric field. Now we will see what is equation of continuity. For this, so let me consider a region of space. So let me consider region of space, so which is having volume V. Okay, so let me consider a region of space which is having volume V. Volume is capital letter V. Here we are going to use 2 V. One is capital letter V, that is volume, and small e V, that is velocity, velocity of charge. Okay, so velocity of charge, that you should remember. Now, so we are going to consider a region of space which is having volume V enclosed by a closed surface of area S. So it's one is, you can for your imagination you can consider football, so which is a closed surface S, and that particular surface encloses a certain amount of volume. So that volume we are going to take V. Now assume that, so we have placed some positive charges within this particular volume. Okay, so we have placed some amount of positive charge within this particular volume, because we are studying law of conservation of charge. That means the net charge is conserved, the net charge is conserved. So we have to imagine certain amount of positive charge within the volume. Okay, we have placed certain amount of positive charge within the volume. Number is not necessary. So inside the volume we have positive charge. Now we will assume these particular positive charges are moving along x direction, because this is a region of space, so which is in 3-dimensional. X you can represent in a Cartesian coordinate system, that is x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, right? And these positive charges are, we are assuming these positive charges are moving in y direction. Okay, here we have y-axis, x-axis, and z-axis. Now if these positive charges are moving along y direction perpendicular to the y-axis, we know that we have z-axis as well as x-axis, right? So so whenever we are calculating flux, we need perpendicular area, right? The direction of the flow of charges, y-axis. So the perpendicular to the direction of flow of charge is x-axis and z-axis. So when we are taking area, perpendicular area, so that will be, so dx into dz. So when we are considering a small region, so that means when we are considering an infinitesimal small volume within this particular volume. Okay, area, so which is perpendicular to the direction of the flow of charges dx dz. So that we are going to consider, that is the area of the region is which is perpendicular to the direction of the flow is dx dz. Now, so in order to study law of conservation of charge, so we don't consider the entire volume in one stretch. Okay, so similar to the electric flux, so we have considered infinitesimally small surfaces. Like that, here also we are going to consider infinitesimally small volume dV or parallelepiped. Generally volume is represented through parallelepiped. So very small volume dV and that volume we can write it as a dx dy dz. Okay, so dx dy dz is edges of the parallelepiped. Okay, so volume is dx dy dz, and whatever we are studying, current density or current, whatever it may be, now onwards it will be within this volume dV. Okay, then afterwards we are going to apply so to the entire volume V. Okay, entire volume V, when that particular value is integrated over entire volume or volume integration, so we are going to get the information so through this particular volume. Okay, so what are the things we have imagined? So we have assumed, so we have considered a region of a space, so which is having volume V enclosed by a closed surface of area S, and then this surface encloses some certain amount of positive charge, and these positive charges are moving along y direction. Okay, these positive charges are moving along y direction. Then so the area which is perpendicular to the direction of the flow of charges ds, which is equal to dx dz, and volume of the infinitesimally small region, that is dx dy dz. And one more, these charges are moving, right? That means it has certain amount of velocity. Okay, these charges are moving along y direction, means it has certain amount of velocity. So that velocity is equal to dy by dt. Velocity is a displacement by time. So we are considering this dv or this particular parallelepiped. So the charges are moving along y direction. So the displacement will be dy. Displacement will be dy. So displacement by time. So dy divided by time gives you velocity. With this basic informations, so now we will see the expression. Okay, equation of continuity. Now we have assumed that these positive charges are moving. If these positive charges are moving, then we can easily calculate what is rate of flow of charge. So what is rate of flow of charge? Rate of flow of charge is current. Okay, so the total current, so now this particular current I is so with respect to the entire volume V. Okay, so this particular current I is with respect to the entire volume V. Now the total current I. Now, what about the direction of the current? Whether it is outward direction or that the current is coming out of the surface or which is going so inside the surface, inside the volume. So for that we have to see whether the surface is closed or not. Here we have assumed the surface is closed. Right, here we have assumed surface is closed. If we have a closed surface, the direction of the field line is outward direction. Right, so direction of the field line is outward direction. If the field line direction is outward, then current direction is also outward direction. Okay, then the current direction is also outward direction. That's why the total current I coming out of the closed surface is I is equal to rate of flow of charge, that is charge is Q. So charge is Q. So minus dq by dt. Why this negative sign is given here? The current I is equal to dq by dt, but why minus sign is given here? The reason is the direction of the flow of current is outward direction. That means these charges are coming out of the surface, right? So these charges are coming out of the surface. If these charges are coming out of the surface, then what about the number of charges within the volume? That get reduces. Okay, so if current flows in outward direction, then the rate of flow of charges current, so these charges are flowing out of the surface, so the number of charge within the surface, within the volume decreases. That is why this negative sign is given here. So I is equal to minus dq by dt. Take this as equation number 1. Now we have current, we can easily calculate what is current density. What is current density? Current divided by perpendicular area. Current divided by perpendicular area, that gives you current density. Here we have two factors using which we can easily calculate what is current density. One is using current itself, another one is using charge. First we will calculate what is current density using charge. Okay, so current density is, volume current density is amount of charge passing per unit area per unit time. Amount of charge passing per unit time is current, that divided by area is current density. So that we can write amount of charge passing, that is dq, divided by per unit area is perpendicular area dx dz per time is unit time is dt. So this equation 2, current density, volume current density J is equal to dq by dx dz dt. Now what is the dt? So this we should know what is dt. For that we will take velocity term. Okay, if v is the velocity of the positive charge, if v is the velocity of the positive charge, then we can write velocity is equal to dy by dt. Dy, so it's a displacement along y direction, so it is a dy divided by dt. So rearrange it, we want what is the dt, so dt is equal to dy by v. Now put this value in equation 2, dt value in equation 2, then we will get current density J is equal to dq by dx dz dy by v. So dx dz dy by dy by v. So denominator goes to numerator, then we will get dq divided by dx dy dz into v. What is the dx dy dz? Dx dy dz is equal to volume dv. So write J is equal to dq by dv into v. So dq by v, so here we have charge, here we have volume, so it is charge density. Okay, so charge by volume, charge density, so rho is volume charge density. So this is where, so we get J is equal to rho v, where rho is equal to, this is very important one, rho is equal to volume charge density. Take this as equation number 3, volume charge density, so that is equation number 3. Now this is a one way of calculating what is current density. So J is equal to rho v. Now another way, this we have arrived when we have considered charge concept. Now one more concept using which we can easily calculate what is current density, that is using current. So current density is current by area. Current is a di. Current is a di, so you are calculating in this particular volume, in front of small volume, that is dv. So in that particular volume, current is di divided by area of perpendicular area is ds. Okay, so rearrange this ds, bring it to left hand side, then we will get j dot ds is equal to di. J dot ds is equal to di. So now integrate this particular equation. So since ds is surface element, so surface integral j dot ds is equal to integration of di, which is equal to I. Now what is this I? Current. What is this I? Now you can see equation number 1, here we have I. Here we have I. Right? Here we have I. Yes. So here we have I. Now, so in this I we have a condition that the surface is closed. Okay? If this surface is closed, whereas here we don't have any information, so whether surface is closed or not. If surface is closed, then we can take we can take I value from equation 1. Now we are applying condition, that is surface is closed. Okay, if surface is closed, then current I is leaving the surface. That is what we have considered here. The surface is closed. So now apply the condition. Okay, if the surface is closed, then only the current is leaving the surface. Then we can apply equation number 1. Now, so we are going to apply the condition. So if surface is closed, see this equation here, we don't have any information whether surface is closed or not, but if the surface is closed, then we can define what is current. So we are writing this as a closed surface integral. Closed surface is closed, that is closed surface integral j dot ds, which is equal to I, which is equal to equation number 1, that is minus dq by dt. Okay, so here you don't have any information whether surface is closed or not, but if the surface is closed, then we can define what is current. So we have applied the condition that surface is closed. Surface is closed, j dot ds is equal to I, which is equal to minus dq by dt. Take this as equation number 4. Now we need to know what is charge, total charge present within this particular volume. For that we will take charge density concept. Charge density is equal to dq by dq by dv. So now this dv, bring it to left hand side, we are going to get rho dv is equal to dq. Rho dv is equal to dq. Now integrate this value. Here we have volume element, so volume integral rho dv is equal to integration of dq, which is equal to q. Integration of dq is equal to q. Take this as equation number 5. So in equation 5 we have got what is charge. So that is given by q is equal to, so volume integral, so rho dv, right. So now put this equation 5 in 4. So we will get closed surface integral j dot ds, which is equal to minus d by dt volume integral rho dv. Okay, so previously we had minus dq by dt, so q is, so volume integral rho dv, so then we can write, so minus d by dt volume integral rho dv. So far, so we have used d by dt, so because, so we had a charge which is varying with respect to time. So which is depending upon one variable time, so we have used d by dt. Whereas in this case we have a volume charge density, right. So volume charge density depending upon 4 variables, that is, so this is a 3-dimensional factor, so x-axis, y-axis, z-axis as well as time. So if we have if any quantity depends on more than one variable, then we are not supposed to use d by dt. Instead of that we have to use partial differentiation. That is why we have written dou rho by dou t in equation 6. Okay, so this differentiation, bring it inside the integral symbol, then we will get surface, closed surface integral j dot ds, which is equal to minus volume integral dou rho by dou t dv. Take this as equation 6. So you can see in equation 6, left hand side we have a surface integral, right hand side we have volume integral. So in order to get conclusion, so these two things should be in same format, right? So we have already studied Gauss divergence theorem and Stokes theorem. So here we can apply a divergence theorem where we can convert closed surface integral to volume integral, that is, so apply a Gauss divergence theorem to LHS here, RHS let it be same, okay. So we will get closed surface integral j dot ds, which is equal to volume integral divergence of j dv. Now left hand side also we have volume integral, right hand side also we have volume integral. So remove this volume integral, we will get divergence of j is equal to minus dou rho by dou t, which is the law of conservation of charge or continuity equation. Now, so this minus dou rho by dou t, bring it to left hand side, then we will get divergence of j plus dou rho by dou t, which is equal to 0. Take this as equation number 7, and this equation 7 is called continuity equation. Now using this previous equation, you can define what is law of conservation of a charge. So here you can see negative sign. The reason negative sign, so rho is volume charge density. So the reason is why negative sign is given, because these charges is going out of the surface, that means the current direction is outward direction, that means these charges are flowing out of the surface, that means the number of charges within the volume is keep on reducing, right, it get reduces. So that is why this minus sign is given. So what we can say, the time rate dt is there, so time rate of decrease of charge within the given volume is equal to outward flow through the surface. Divergence of j is nothing but divergence of current density. Divergence of current density, both current as well as the charge is explained in terms of density. So it's the same. The divergence of current is equal to the total charge which is going out of the surface. That means the total charge is the same, or total charge remains constant or conserved. That is the statement, the time rate of decrease of charge within a given volume must be equal to the net outward flow through the surface. Now this equation is for general case. If we have a steady current, then you know that there is no change in charge density. Charge density is constant. If charge density is constant, then dou rho by dou t is 0. Then this equation reduces to divergence of j is equal to 0. Divergence of j is equal to 0 is equation for steady current, continuity equation for steady current case. So this is about equation of continuity. Thank you.